Big Boy's Neighborhood. All righty now.
It's that time.
Let's go ahead and get into it. As my shit just falling apart in here.
Listen.
Hell no,
it's
throw
everything
that.
we couldn't say on
Save
the air.
yourself.
Big Boys Uncut Podcast.
Now let's get the show started.
Alrighty, let's get the show started before my microphone completely falls the fuck off. Alrighty, man. Welcome to Big Boys Neighborhood Uncut. As you see, Louis G is not in the neighborhood right now, man. Louis is doing he's Louis in your neighborhood right now, man. So
he's out there.
What's going down with what we getting into? There's a lot to speak on today.
Start?
Go ahead, my love.
So you guys know, I've talked about it just different various times. My issue with Victoria's Secret. Now, I used to love Victoria's Secret. Everything, I would buy sweats and shirts and bras, pants. Like all my stuff came from Victoria's Secret, nowhere else, because I loved the brand so much. And then I started to notice that as we were moving forward with body images and what people represented, I kind of felt like, damn, like they never really want to, they say they embrace this body positive image, but they don't ever represent it. Mm-hmm. So I said, after last year's Victoria's Secret fashion show, I said, you know what, I'm not going to spend any more money there until they decide to be diverse when it comes to a body size in their show, right?
Right.
So now, fast forward a year later, they've already filmed the show. Still no diversity when it comes to a body size. And I was like, well, looks like another year that I'm just not going to spend my money there. Because that's how I feel that I'm not making a difference, but at least I don't have to contribute to the success of that company, right?
How does Matt feel about it with you wearing these big ass drawers every day?
Right?
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not going to Victoria's Secret.
Yeah, I need something new.
Yeah.
No, actually, trying to find other places.
Right now, I hear you.
He's good. He's cool on it. He actually hates all lingerie. He thinks it's a waste of money. He's like, can you just be like naked right there, please?
Yeah,
That's
please.
all I care about.
You know what I'm saying?
Then this article comes out in Vogue magazine, right? And the chief marketing director or operator, his name is Ed, 70 years old, goes and makes statements talking about the fashion show and you know the brand, and then says, so they brought up the question of how come you've never had a plus size model or a trans model in your shows? And he goes, we would just never do that. That's not what we're trying to deliver the fantasy, and that's not the fantasy. And we're not going to include it in our shows. You're 70 years old and you're a man. What do you know about, you shouldn't be the one who's dictating
especially today.
Come on.
Yes, right? So then he has to come back and apologize for his comments.
He's like, what? Who did I offend? What?
And so he had Victoria's Secret had to put out this statement, said, my remark regarding the inclusion of but mind you, they're only really talking about the transgender community. It says, transgender models in Victoria's Secret fashion show came across as insensitive. I apologize. To be clearly, we absolutely would cast a transgender model for the show. We've had transgender models come to castings, and like many others, they didn't make it. But it was never about gender. I admire their respect and journey to embrace who they really are. But again, there's also the and as much as I appreciate those remarks, there's also no remarks about whether or not they would ever include a plus size model like an Ashley Graham or a Tess Holiday. But this is.
And then what happens now, man? If you're the first one to get in, is it because the pressure and and
it doesn't feel genuine and authentic.
It's got to be genuine.
So with Rihanna's Savage Fenty line, from the jump, she was like, women of all sizes are going to buy my product. So why don't I represent women of different sizes? So when you go on the website, every model is different when it comes to ethnicity, size, shape, height, just everything is, she included pregnant women. She included transgender. It's like you said, it's just people.
Yeah, that's people, man. Because I know when I was much bigger, even just shopping, it was like you're looking at either a catalog or you'll see somebody that was wearing the clothes and you're like, man, that doesn't even look like me.
Right.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, here I am, and of course I was severe morbid obese.
Yeah.
And I wore a size 66 pants,
Yeah.
But it was like you couldn't even get a big guy to wear a size 44, 46.
There's this other brand called Pretty Little Thing, and they actually did this thing where same exact dress, two models showing off the dress, just different sizes.
Yeah.
So I'm not saying to throw away all the thinner models or the skin or don't push them aside. I'm just saying let's include everyone just to see too, because
be real with what it is.
Yes.
Not everybody's walking around looking like a stick figure, and that's just
I
unrealistic.
think more people look like the person that you're gonna walk outside and see than the Victoria's Secret model.
Definitely.
And they're all gorgeous and beautiful,
Yeah.
but you don't need 60 of the same exact body shape and size to represent things that your customers are buying. Like the customers look like you said, there's all different types.
Honestly, I was looking at pictures. I'm not trying to be mean.
Uh-oh, she's
okay?
shaming. Here we go.
But I was looking at pictures of Bella and Gigi Hadid, and that's how you say their last name. And Bella looks so skinny, like it looks unhealthy. And she's a gorgeous girl, but it wasn't cute to me. I was like,
Right.
she looks like she
Damn.
probably starved herself so she could be in the show, and it just doesn't look healthy to me. It's
Like
unappealing.
what would she look like at her natural
Normal,
weight?
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Not-
you know they put them through like really hardcore regulations that they have to
Dude.
fit and have to be a certain size. And honestly, like when you go shopping to Victoria's Secret, it's like the most frustrating thing. And I'm tiny, okay, and I struggle between medium and large underwear. And I'm tiny, and if
Damn.
I'm struggling,
Really?
like I see other girls that are in there, I'm like, yo, you definitely. Why are you grabbing smalls? Like
Right.
that is way too small. So if their sizes aren't appropriate for me, like I know they're excluding all kind of different women because
But the thing
I'm
is,
tiny.
they do sell, like they'll sell a bra that's a 40 triple D. So if you have a woman
I
who
know, I
has
used
that
to wear
breast size, but you're not representing a woman that would fit that size. Like
Right.
if you sell the product, you should represent the body types that
Yeah,
fit into
definitely
those
so.
So if you have the
sizes.
tops, sell the bottoms.
Say what now?
I said if you have the tops, sell
Well,
the
yeah,
bottoms.
Yeah.
they're all funky too. Because even their clothes, like I'll be a small in their like sweatpants and their t-shirts because all their like lounge clothing is very big. But when it comes to their underwears, they're smaller. But they sell the big bras, and it's just they need someone to go in there and really turn that company into what they think they are.
Right.
Like the image that they portray is not what their company really is.
And that's why I didn't walk in the show this year.
That's right.
People hit
That's
me
good.
up, you know.
That's right.
You,
Of
Doug.
course, not knowing anything about it, not being invited, and wouldn't made it anyway. But
Yeah.
it makes me feel better when I say that's the reason why.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I-Day, what's going down with you?
Man, look, I'm always on Twitter looking at like what hashtags are trending or whatever. And actually two caught my eyes today, and one I'm just gonna speak on. One was My Lane, and this is a bunch of like different medical professionals that I guess had spoke out about gun control, and that's what they want to the NRA, and the NRA responded with "Stay in your lane," which I'm just absolutely disgusted. But it's as heartbreaking as it is, it's also very encouraging, and I applaud all of these medical professionals for sharing their different experiences. One of them tweeted out to the NRA, "This is what it looks like to stay in my lane. We will not be silent about the toll of gun violence. I speak for this patient, their parents who will never be the same, and for every person who came after this one and it didn't have to. This is what it is like to be in our lane." And she tweeted out a picture of her scrubs, the bottom of her scrubs, and they're covered in blood, and it's so sad. Like,
Oh, my God.
and there was others that just shared just like pictures of the ER room, and it's just blood everywhere, all over the floor, on the bed, in their hands, everywhere.
Stay in your lane.
Yeah,
People need to stop saying
It's
that.
so crazy.
They really do. The whole like, shut up and dribble, shut up and do this,
Yeah,
stay in your
man.
lane. It's just so discouraging because it devalues you as a human. It sucks.
Yeah,
I
stay
couldn't
in your
think of the
lane.
word,
I
but-
don't know quite. Yeah.
It's just not right.
Can you imagine if we all just stayed in our lane and we get it as well? You know, oh, y'all talking a little bit too political, but it's the climate. You know what I'm
Definitely.
saying? Like, what am I going to talk about? If I'm going to we do your Mickey Ficky Mix, your phone taps. We have great phone bits. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And topics, but you can't deny what's going on
Yeah.
here.
There
You
was
know?
another tweet that was to the NRA, "I'm a surgeon and a gun owner. Finding a sensible solution is my lane. This is what my lane looks like. This is our lane." And look at this picture of the floor.
Oh my gosh, man!
Like,
There's
it's
blood
just
all over the floor
blood.
right there.
Lives.
All over. But I thought it was a really interesting thread, and I don't know, I applaud all the medical professionals and everybody that took part of this, and just for them to be speaking out, because sometimes I wonder, like, what is it going to take for change? Like,
And that's just a snapshot. You know,
Just a
you
snap.
can't imagine what they see in a year's time.
right.
You know,
Right.
so
So-
all that stay in your lane stuff, stop it.
Stop it.
We were talking on air today, man, about Drake being profiled at a casino.
Yeah.
He went in and said he had everything that they asked for. They profiled him. And you know, Drake never come out just saying crazy stuff. It's not like, oh, Drake tripping again. But he did put up on his social media platform, you know, about, hey, you know, it's the worst place ever, called it by name, so on and so forth, and explained that he went in, got profiled, and he had everything that he needed that they asked him for to gamble. So we were asking, have you ever been profiled before? And we got so many calls live on air today. And also, man, I can't even ask, have you? How have you been profiled, Lou?
Yo, I was at a concert for this group called Foreigner, and it's like it's mostly like Caucasian fans, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of white fans. So me and my dad loves them from old school rock and roll. I remember we went to the House of Blues and we were there and we were chilling and we walked in. As soon as we walked in, you can already see like the people kind of looking at us weird, bartender, security a little bit. So we're in there, we're having drinks, we're having a good time. And we went upstairs to go use the restroom. And this was like me and my dad bonding, bro. Like we were having a good time. Like, man, you excited? He's never seen him live. And we were up close and personal. We had a beer in our hands and we're walking down the stairs. And I got my arm over him and I'm telling him how much I love him. And like, this is amazing. Then all of a sudden, a security guard comes right next to us. It's like, oh, come here, follow me. So I'm like, okay, what's going on here? Maybe some like VIP treatment. I don't know what's going on. Walks us straight out the exit door, dog.
No.
Wait,
out the exit door.
What the hell was that about?
My man said, you guys were too drunk. You guys are stumbling down these steps that you guys can't be in here anymore. I'm like, what are you talking about, fam? Everybody in here is drinking.
Yeah, everyone, did you tell him this is my dad and I was hugging my dad?
Exactly. I had to do the whole explanation. No, but that's it. You already exited, so we can't bring you back. I'm like, bro, get your manager out. Like, I didn't want to pull the card out, but I had to pull the Mexican card out. I was like, bro, just because we're Mexican and everybody in there is just white, like, what's going on?
Why us?
We're not the only ones stumbling up and, like, we're not even stumbling. It's like our second beer. And we're just bonding, having a good time. Like, there's girls walking up and down. Yeah, man. Straight to, I was like, yeah, we're going to get some VIP treatment or something special. Straight to the exit door.
Did y'all get back in?
Hell yeah, we got back in.
Yeah, but you had to speak up on it.
Pretty much, man.
Wow.
But right there, I was like,
did anyone
dude.
apologize?
Nah, not at all.
Shut up.
Nope. That person didn't apologize. Like, no, I'm not like. I'm like, yeah, okay, bro. You're not like that. All right, fam. Get your manager out here. Manager, well, we'll just go. You know what? Just go back in, and that was it. Not one apology, not nothing. Just go back in.
Man, yeah, that's horrible.
Horrible experience, man.
Man, I remember I was flying somewhere, and this dude just just walked right in front of me. And I'm looking like, what the hell? We're at the airport. And my man was like, oh, this is first class. Like, yeah, motherfucker, I know it's first class.
Oh, wow.
Fuck you talking about?
Wow.
Because I was, and I moved
like, are
him.
you lost?
Like,
Yeah.
man,
I'm gonna get lost
I
in the
know
plane.
it's first class, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just sitting there like, no, I know how to fucking read. I know what my ticket says. Like, man, you better
horrible.
get on with that bullshit.
Damn.
All right, anybody
Right.
else? Because we can go ahead.
I
Right
had
there.
me like a little Selena moment. Have you guys seen the movie Selena where she goes into the store and she's looking at the dress and the lady that works at the store was like, oh, you don't want to look at that dress. That dress is $800, right?
Right.
So when I went to go buy my prom dress, I went into the store and I was a lot younger and I walked in there and it was a pretty expensive store and the dress that I was looking at was all silk. And she looked at me and she's like, no, you don't want that dress. Like literally I was like, there's no way she's saying that to me. I'm like, why not? And she's like, oh, that dress is like $450. And I was like, if I wanted to know the price, I can look at the price tag. I was like, I want to try this dress on. And I bought the dress because that's the dress that I had my heart set out on. But like, I was just like, damn, like, why do you have to do that to me?
Damn, you don't want that dress.
I walked in there with like a hoodie and some sweats. So I don't know. I just felt like.
I get that. So I get that sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Where somebody is like, you go into a store and they don't come to you as fast,
I hate that,
she had looked at me too like that. Like she was just kind of like, And she was the only one there, so she had to help
I remember,
me.
dude, Liz, her dad went to go buy a car and, he was coming from one of his properties. So he was, dirty and assisting the contractors and everything. And he wanted to buy a car and the person didn't help him. Kept walking past him, and all they saw was this Mexican gentleman in there that looked like he did construction. And somebody came and, helped him and treated him like a human being. He told him, like, fuck him. You know what I'm saying? And bought that fucking Benz in cash.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying?
Damn.
It does
like,
feel good, though. When I handed her the money, I just looked at her like...
Did you call her a fucking B
No,
or anything?
I didn't.
Okay.
One time we were at a Pizza Hut back in the day, and I was young, and it was with my mom.
I love Pizza Hut.
I love Pizza Hut too.
But we never went back to this one. And my mom told them on the phone, hey, when she put in the order, I have a coupon. Okay, that's great, fine. When she got there, she handed, they're like, no, we're not going to take this coupon. And she was like, why not? I told them I had the coupon. Well, no, you can't use this coupon, for whatever reason it was. And she said, I want to speak to your manager. So they're like, oh, fine. So they call the manager, and as they're waiting for the manager to walk over, the woman started talking crap about my mom in Spanish because she assumed my mom didn't speak Spanish because my mom doesn't, I guess to her, didn't look like the typical, Mexican woman. And so she was going off on my mom, and my mom just like let her keep talking, and then she was like just went off her in Spanish, and she was like, I fucking speak Spanish. You better believe. And I remember just being really young, and I remember being like, I'm like, wow, I'm so proud of my mom for standing up for herself rather than just like, because I was like, I know what they're saying. I know those bad words. Hey, man. And they're talking about my mom.
I remember one time, man, I was at this spot, right? And so I went into the place, and there was a guy. It was a house. And the guy was upstairs, and he was welding, like doing an arc weld on some pipes in the person's bathroom. And so he had the pipes on the carpet and doing an arc or a settling weld. And I walk into the house, and I'm standing there, and I'm looking down at this guy for him to acknowledge me. And I know he see my feet and my legs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you're next to him.
And so he's still welding, and then he just looks up at me, and then he puts his head back down and keeps on welding. He's probably looking like, what is this black dude doing in here? So he looks back up at me, and he takes his mask off, and he was like, may I help you?
Wow.
And I said, yes, you can help me. I said, this is my fucking house. I said, and why are you welding on my fucking carpet? And I fired him right on the spot.
Yeah.
Did not think that the house that I was walking into was my house. My man said, can I help you? And took his shit off. I remember another time, dude, Jose is my witness. It was a guy that we had brought to do some blinds, right? I'm with Jose, and it was like wooden blinds, right? I'm with Jose, and the dude was black. We in there clowning and laughing for like probably 30 minutes, an hour, Jose. Yeah. Dude, when I left, dude was like, man, who was that? And Jose was like, that's the owner. And he was like, that was the owner? He couldn't fathom that this black dude was this was his house. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy.
Yeah, the crazy, or the whole walking across the street shit.
Dude, recently I was at the store buying some shoes, and there I was noticing that one of the sales customer service representatives or whatever was offering people this, like, oh, have you heard about our friends and family discount? You get an extra 30% off. So I'm sitting there, and I'm literally like right next to the dude, just kind of looking up at him like, all right, offers one dude, then he sees some other dude, offers him, dude. And I'm walking around next to him, like, opening boxes, going to be a little loud. I'm like, okay, I know what's about to happen. And now, man, not once did he offer me this friends and family discount, dog, at all, bro. And I'm sitting there just watching him offer to everybody else. And I'm in front of him, and I was like, what's up, man? You good? He's like, yeah, I'm good. And I was just like,
man, he was like, you're not my friend or family.
Dog, finally, I had to go up to the front. I was like, hey, can I get that friends and family discount? I'm like, oh, yeah, they didn't offer it to you. I was like, nope.
Like, nah, that guy right there.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and anytime you complain, it's because you're black, Mexican, of color.
Yeah, pretty much.
And everybody gets it. You know what I'm saying? Even when Justin Bieber was in the neighborhood, in Watts. They're like, sing, white boy, go ahead, sing, They profiled and we profiled him. Like, what is he doing over there?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But, man, thank you guys for hanging out with us. We're going to go out and get profiled right now. So enjoy the rest of your day, man. Thank you for hanging out with us. Big Boys Neighborhood. We are uncut. Have a great day, y'all.